Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the Displays and Lighting event. It's my pleasure now to introduce Ian Hendy, who's CEO of Hendy Consulting. And Ian is going to give us a market and status outlook of the display industry. As usual, we will be taking live questions at the end of the presentation. Please leave your questions in the sidebar. There is often a delay with these, so please put them in as soon as you think of them rather than leaving it to the end so that we can ensure that we do answer your questions. I'm now going to turn off my camera and hand over to Ian, and I'll reappear again at the end of the presentation to take your questions. Okay, Ian, over to you.
And good afternoon, everybody, from a very grey London this afternoon. Thanks very much to the whole of the TechBlick team for inviting me to talk. And I guess I'm very pleased to go first in this display market overview to set the stage. So I'm a strategist by nature and by training. So this is very big picture stuff on the nature of where the display industry is now, and some of the things that might change over the next 2 or 3 years, and the underlying themes that stay the same. And my theme today is going to be of a roller coaster. So we are right at the top and just about ready, the scary feeling of just about to go over the top. The display industry today is just about the best pricing it's had in about 4 years. But there are already signs that more capacity is going to be built and that will change. And for those of us who've been around in the display industry for a very long time, we all know how the roller coaster is going to feel. So to give you a little bit of background first on my business, and my team are management consultants to the display industry. And I guess that makes us a little bit different from market researchers in that we solve custom business problems for display-related companies all over the value chain, frankly, from materials companies to equipment companies to novel display startups to people with new processes. And the idea is to work confidentially with you to help solve some of your biggest business problems. So I guess that's the orientation, and that's a little bit different to the market research firms, but that's an introduction to myself and my business and what we do. So I think that's what I alluded to. We're right at the top now. I think Bob O'Brien is going to speak next, and he'll have data from DSCC. But I think the general view is we're right at the peak of pricing that has come up absolutely amazingly since the middle of last year due to the corona bounce and shortages of both semiconductors and glass that have psychologically driven the display industry back up in terms of pricing, back into the black and into profits. But I think already there's some ominous news of new capacity that will take us back down the other side of the roller coaster. So I think that's the theme for my talk. It's for people who are perhaps new to the industry, it's a little bit of a position piece on what happens at the top, what happens when the market is good, but then also what might change, and what are the themes that are actually throughout all of this on this roller coaster ride, the things that are actually ongoing all the time. And I think observers to the display industry often feel that it's moving quite quickly and commercially changing. And in some ways, pricing and commercial revenues do change quite a lot. But I think some of the underlying trends are basically medium term to long term and remain. So that's my big picture on what we have. So we're right at the top right now, but the recent news, and thanks to Barry at OLED Association for this one, is that at the peak of the pricing, of course, everybody starts planning new factories, right? Everybody wants to squeak out everything they can out of the capacity that they already have, and they start talking about new things. And what's stunning about this rumored BOE fab is that it's so large. I've heard different rumors from between 120 and 180,000 sheets a month. Just to put that in line, that is, 3 to 5 sort of Korean fabs worth at Gen 8 size. It is one huge piece of capacity. And those are the sort of things that make very big differences to our industry, to pricing, and to how it behaves. So this is already, while it's not yet coming and ramping yet, already